Shalom, shalom, Israel. We are the battle axe of the Most High coming at you with another Wednesday night class. We're just getting done with Passover, but a little tired, you know what I'm saying? We've been kicking it. In the mighty Yahweh Shai name and the Most High name, we've been doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? 7 days and unleavened bread as well. We thank y'all for tuning in, and for all those who hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, coming at you with another Wednesday night class of part 2. About 2 weeks ago, we did Know Your Role. So this will be Know Your Role part 2. Like we say, we happy Passover late. We done with the Passover right now. But we just want to tell everybody to celebrate the Passover. I hope you had a good time in it. But we sure as heck did, you know. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get into this class today, Know Your Role part 2. This is very crucial that we need to know and understand who we are, know our role that we play. First scripture we'll pull is Psalm 15, chapter 1 and 3. This is a scripture that I like because it's like asking a question. Like, man, what kind of people, man, are there going to be that make it to the kingdom, man? And these are questions that we should ask ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Ask the Most High God to give us understanding on. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1 through 3. Songs, like, I don't know what I'm saying. 1 Samuel. Shalak, man. Shalak. Psalm chapter 15, verse 1 through 3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 15, verse 1. Lord shall abide in thy tabernacle.
Read that again now.
Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle?
So the question is posing, who shall abide? What kind of people? In other words, what kind of people are you going to accept into your kingdom, Heavenly Father?
Who shall dwell in the holy hill?
So who shall be in that holy, that separated part, you know what I'm saying, the second world, man, that we want to be in, that we're supposed to be striving for.
He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart. He that had backbited not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor.
What's that? He that walketh uprightly. You know, walking uprightly is trying to keep these laws, rehearsing the righteous act. And a lot of brothers like to say, man, y'all over there teaching false, man. Y'all trying to keep holy day. Y'all know we can't keep no holy day. We go show a try, brother. We know we in captivity, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We go try together. If it ain't nothing for 30 minutes or an hour and try to get together and try to keep the holy days. That's how you please the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? You got to put off the earthly thing and try to do it for his sake. You know what I'm saying? So he that abide, that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness. And we know righteousness is keeping these laws, and the righteous is trying to rehearse a righteous act, trying to do what he asked us to do. Because for a long time, we was not righteous. We thought we were. A lot of brothers just say, I'm a good dude, I'm a good man. Well, you good to yourself. Well, see if you're good to the Most High God. Go to the scriptures and see if you're good to the Most High God. And speak of the truth in his heart. And we know the truth of these scriptures, man. Thus said the Lord. If it ain't thus said the Lord, then it's not the truth. Because we always know that man lets you down every time. So he that walketh uprightly, that speaketh the truth in his heart. Verse 3 said, he that backbiteth not with his tongue. That's crucial, man, because we do a lot of talking amongst Israel. You know, we already was a nation of people that love to talk about each other. As soon as you get out the car, man, you know, brother, thing, man, you know, brother, I always need a ride. You know what I'm saying? So we always been like that. So we got to change. This is what we have to do. A lot of brothers and sisters don't want to be ready for change, man. And change is one of the best things that we can do, especially if it's for the better. So change is a key word. It said not backbiting, because you know what kind of people we are with his tongue. You know that tongue is wicked. That tongue is evil, man. You're a talking person out of this truth before you talk them into it. And we got to stop doing that, man. That's why we got to let off that old person and try to put on this new person, man. You know what I'm saying? According to the Most High God.
And a lot of times, us as Israel, we do that because a lot of times we trim our ways in this truth. A lot of times we trim our ways in this truth. But by us trimming our ways, we teach other people around us to trim their ways too. And now we teaching now the people our bad habits. Now they learning bad habits, then they pick up their own bad habits, and it's like a chain reaction, man.
That's right.
When is the cycle gonna stop? Stop, man.
That's right. For real, the cycle is going. And we the brothers that got to do it. We are the nation of people. He set us up to be these teachers, these priests. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones that have to show our brothers and sisters the way to go, man. That's why you let your light shine. Okay, we might be 5 amongst a million, but hey, this 5 amongst a million, we'll try to put in that work and get 10, and then try to get 15, and so on and so on. So it said he that he that does not evil to his neighbor, not backbite to his neighbor. Now we know our neighbor is not everybody, man. Our neighbor, our brothers, the nation of Israel, our people, man. And it's not just saying that you get a free pass, just talk about everybody. No, but still, you want to know who exactly that neighbor is. You know what I'm saying? And know that. If for sure, I don't need to be talking about my brothers and my sisters in Israel, man. That's for sure. I don't need to be doing that.
Matter of fact, let's get there right quick. Let's get Leviticus 19 and 17 because
bring it out.
We have to constantly go over these scriptures because that's what we have been taught in Christianity, that our neighbor, your brother is everybody. That's right. That's not according to what the Bible says. We got to do just said the Lord. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
So it is a commandment not to hate our brothers in our heart. That'll end black on black crime overnight.
That's right.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So it's also a commandment that we rebuke our neighbor, our brother. That means to correct. When we see them in sin, it's our job to correct our brothers. We don't know.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Because when we don't correct them, we suffer in sin upon him. Read on up.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
The children of who?
Of thy people.
Read on up.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So your neighbor, your brother is the children of thy people, of your own nation of people. Go ahead.
And like you said, man, grudge. That's a key word. Like when we tend to hold a lot of grudges. I know me personally, I used to hold grudges as being in this world, man, before I tried to get up out of this world. And I really had to teach myself to not hold grudges, you know. Somebody said something back when I was in the 8th grade, and I still look at them with a side look. And I'm 32 years old, 34, 35 years old, just saying in my walk. And I know how old I am, but I'm just saying within my walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm still looking at these brothers like, man, I remember what he said in the 8th grade, man. That brother did this to me in the 9th grade, man. So we can't hold no grudges, man. We got to forgive, and we got to learn to forgive. And you know what I'm saying? You don't have to forget it, but, you know, push it to the side, man. Let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? If that brother still doing this, you still doing your thing, you still trying to get to the truth, know what we're trying to do, man.
And a point that you brought up earlier, you know, they talking about y'all trying to keep the high holy days. Yeah, we try to keep the high holy days because it's lessons in the high holy days.
That's right. When
you purging out the old living, man, you purging out the old man in yourself, man. So you cannot just think that it's just a high holy day. Oh, we just big kicking it and we not learning. We learning too. At the same time, this is man, the Most High ain't for the games, man.
That's what he want to see growth is. We got to grow in this truth, man. You know, we once were babes. Now we should be trying to get into, well, you can go on and call it teenage. You got to take step by step. Know your role. Know that your next step. That you got to go step by step, piece by piece, brick by brick. What we trying to do? We're trying to build this house brick by brick. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Because we left off on part 1, we was showing you that, you know, the servant is not greater than his master. You know, we had pulled that scripture. Let them know that, hey, man, you got to do what the Most High God made you to do, man. If he told you to be this, then you got to be this. He set us up to be watchmen over Israel, and that's what we got to do. Some people don't want to get their job, take their job, or even take it seriously enough to try to please the Most High God. But like I always say, we're trying to do what's acceptable to him. If it can just be acceptable to him, we ain't worried about if it's acceptable to man. But if it's acceptable to the Most High God, keeping the high holy days, doing this and so on. Read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Surely.
For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing that framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
It says, surely you're turning the things upside down, because that's what it is right now. The world is so backwards. And like we tell brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? 1 John 2 and 15 say, love not the world. You got to understand that the world is totally against the Most High God's of judgments and his laws, statutes, and commandments. The world lets you know that, hey, you can be a homosexual. The world lets you know, hey, we can do interracial marriages and so forth. Like I said, I get so upset when I see these commercials, man, where these sisters be with these so-called white Edomites, man, or vice versa, you know. And that's what they pushing these days. So he says, surely your turning of things upside down shall esteem the potter's clay. That's like all our brothers and sisters that want to be men, want to be women. Women want to be men. The Most High ordained you to be a woman. He got you from the womb and ordained you to be a woman. So why are you trying to turn upside down with the potter, what the potter had made you?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be the potter and the clay. Just ain't never been able to happen. You can't be the potter and the clay. Well, I'm gonna make myself a bowl, and the Lord made me a cup. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Brothers want to be sisters. Sisters want to be brothers. He said, surely you're turning the things upside down. And that's what the world is today. It's so upside down. Man. It's upside down. It's not. It's against everything that God has told us to do. Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what upside down is. Man. So he said, shall the thing that framed it, have he made not, or shall the thing that framed it unto him that framed it? That's just like, you know what I'm saying? You draw a picture and you put a 7 on the picture, but man, you say, man, I want to be a 6. Well, I can be a 5. You know what I'm saying? I painted this, man. That's the painter, man. The painter painted. That's what the Most High God, he's the painter in this situation. Mm-hmm. Or in the situation of the clay, he's the potter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you can't try to actually we try to say that you can't outdo God or try to beat him, try to change what he made. He said he made everything good. Mm-hmm. So you got to understand that he made you to be a woman, and he made you to be a woman for your good. He made you to be a man, and made you to be a man for your good. He made you to be a preacher, a priest, a teacher, a watchman of this world. It's for your good. He knows what to do with you, man. Anybody got someone? Let's go to Isaiah. What you got?
Let me get a precept. Let me get a Sirach. Sirach chapter 1. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 7. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 7.
The book of Sirach chapter 1 verse 7. Unto whom hath the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest? Mm-hmm. And who had understood her great experience?
Read on.
There is one wise, mm-hmm. and one greatly to be feared. Mm-hmm. The Lord sitting upon his throne.
See, that's the Lord, the one sit upon through his wisdom. Mm-hmm. He the one that made the pot, man. He the one that fashioned the clay. Through his wisdom, that's the one that's sitting up on the throne. Read on.
Verse 9. He created her, mm-hmm. and saw her, and numbered her, mm-hmm. and poured her out upon all his works.
That's the wisdom that the Lord got. He the one that poured the clay upon his works. He the one that poured the wisdom upon his work. He the one that anything that he make is good. We the one that changes and turn things upside down, man.
That's right.
The Lord, everything he made is good. But guess what we want to do? A woman want to be a man. Mm-hmm. A man want to be a woman. A woman don't like her role. A man don't like his role. A man don't want to step up. That's why we have things like in the media that's going on. The man that either might put his hands on the sister. We men of the Lord, man. Won't you put your hands on one of us? See what's gonna happen, man.
That's right.
See, because it's not enough for us doing what's righteous, what the wisdom of the Lord that he poured out, that he showed to us is his Bible. Mm-hmm. It's his words, man. And he poured it out. He gave it to us, and we supposed to use this in sight of all the nations, but we don't use it, man. We change things.
And that's exactly what that scripture said, man. Upside down. The world is so upside down. You know, men ain't stepping up for their women no more. You understand? Men are on the back line now, pushing the women out to the front line. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we supposed to be those protectors, those guiders, man. And we got to start being stern men again. That's why a lot of brothers come up to a street teaching. Why y'all talking like that? Why y'all, hey, man, we got to talk stern. A lot of you brothers that come up and ask that, you probably didn't have grow up with a father, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so used to getting talked to so nicely and politely. But the Most High God, is he all nice and polite? That's what y'all think. But through the scriptures, man, the Most High God to cut you up, man. Ask you some more questions. Who you think you is? The Most High God to give it to you straight like that too, man. We got to be stern men, man.
And when are the men gonna stand up, man, and stop acting so dang on weak, man?
That's right.
That's the whole thing, man. We have turned this thing upside down, man. If you look at it, if you read through all our forefathers, man, they didn't play games like we play games, man.
No.
And the thing is, we've been so Americanized, man. Men and women and children have been so Americanized to the point, like I said, in the scripture, it's showing us that we done got away from God all the way, man.
All the way.
And that's what assimilation does to you, man. It takes you out of your nationality, your heritage, and put another nationality. See, this has never been our spirit. That's the spirit of Esau. You know, that weak, soft spirit, man. We have never been like that, man. When you read about our forefathers, man, and that's why the Bible tells us to put off that weak nature, man. You know, especially the men of Israel. That's right. You know, like I always say, man, we lions, man. You know, so it's time to take our place back on the world stage once again, man. Go ahead,
like you said, we lions, man. We got to be that strong. We got to be strong, man. We got to be the backbone. They got to be women. Our women and children got to be able to depend on us, man. To not have a shadow of a doubt, to know that we go get it. We go get it right, or we'll lose our life for them, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. For the house of Israel, for our nation of people, man. And that's what he said. He said, "Shoot, who go lose their life for me, man? Put their life up, man. You're living. You supposed to be a living witness, a living testimony to the Most High God, man. You gotta let your light shine, brothers and sisters, and step up and be these men, man. You men of Israel. I think you did a class on it, right? Step up, brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? The sisters, you gotta get in line too as well. Let's go to Isaiah 45 and 9. It's another precept, man, to that same scripture, man.
Let me read that. I got it. The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker.
Whoa, it said destruction unto you that striving with your maker, man. You're up here trying to be a woman and you was made a man, you know what I'm saying? That the destruction coming to you. You're up here trying to be a man and you was made a woman, destruction coming to you. Because the maker know what he's doing, the Holy One, man. The Most High God know what he made you to be. Go ahead.
Let the potsherds strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou? Or thy work, he had no hand.
This is like we said, man, you can't be the clay and the potter. Because the potter, in order to make the clay, he had to have it with hand. He made it with his hand, but the clay, you ain't got no hands up there talking about, I should have been made this. I should have been made that. This is the Most High God. This is the scriptures, man, let you know that, hey, the Most High God is saying, don't even try to question me. That's why we always go to Isaiah 55 and 8. Your thoughts are not the Most High thoughts. So just do what he told you to do. He said, don't ask me no questions about how can you ask the maker questions about what you should be when I already had it set in stone what I wanted you to be. Read on.
Verse 10. Woe unto him that saith unto his father.
Destruction to him that asks questions, that's asking questions. Go ahead.
What begottest thou? Or to the woman, what hast thou brought forth?
It's like, man, you was born, like we keep saying, the woman done had a childbearing and she, oh, you had a nice 7-pound baby girl. Then you stand around and doctor slapping you. Well, you say, man, I should have been made a boy. What is wrong with this? Off the muscle, you come out the womb talking, man. That's what we doing though as Israel, man. We like to just change things up. We think we running this world, man, and we got a maker, man. We have a creator that set in stone what we ought to be doing. See, we got out of we done, like we said, we done got so out of trying to please God. We're trying to please ourselves now. We don't even try to please God no more. Much less try to please our brothers and sisters. We don't even try to please us. God, we try to please ourselves. It's all about me. What I want to do. To get these scriptures, man. Read.
Verse 11. Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith who?
Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his maker.
Man. Y'all understand that? And his maker. That's a cut. A lot of people y'all don't see that, man. And his maker, man. Come on, y'all.
Ask me of the things to come concerning my sons and concerning the work of my hands. Command ye me.
That's what he's saying. Like, who are you, man? Who are you to ask questions to the Most High God about you want to do this or you want to do that? Now, do what he told you to do. We got to get in line. We got to get in order, man. We got to know our role. If he set you up to be that, then he set you up to be that. And that's what you have to be, man. Let's go to Corinthians 15.
Because just like I said, you know, like he said, that's a cut. Verse 11, that's the Most High and that's Christ.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
You know, Christ is throughout all the Old Testament, man. The Holy One of Israel and his maker. So who did Christ make himself? No, that is the Most High. The Most High is the maker of Christ.
That's right.
You know, we got to come up out of these games, man. We got to stop it, man. Go ahead.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Know your role in this Israel, man. Oh, let's go to Isaiah 44. Let's go to Isaiah 44. We was right there. All right. Chapter 44, verse 1 and 2.
Okay. The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
See, that's crucial because We got to know our role and know that we are the chosen role. We are the chosen seed. We have to be, we're supposed to be on top, brothers and sisters. We have to know our role, man. Our role is to be kings and princesses, man.
That's right.
Our role is to be on top and the other nations working for us, man. For us to have our feet kicked up at these jobs while they doing the work. But like Isaiah said in the last chapter, Isaiah with 29-16, the world done turned upside down, man. And then you got the so-called Edomites and every other nation, man, making us work for them. That's why I wanted to bring the scripture up, because we got to know our role, and our role is to be the kings and princesses, man.
Exactly. Our role is to turn the things right side up again.
That's right.
You know, that's very important. Like the officers bringing out, this something heavy, man. You know,
Really?
we all got to take heed, take your notes, man. This is for the rulership of the world, man, and for our souls.
Man, read that again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Now, from that being said, guess what? In the sight of all the nations, they see us getting punished because the Lord chose us.
That's right.
So the things that they do, we cannot do, man.
That's right.
That's not our job. Matter of fact, give me Amos chapter 3 right quick. Amos chapter 3 and Amos chapter 3 and verse 2. Amos chapter 3 and verse 2.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
But this is talking about the children of Israel. And we the only people that he's known, man. Out of all the nations of the world, that's the reason why. Read the next part.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's the reason why he punishing us for our iniquity,
Right.
man. Because guess what? The Esau getting away with
Murder. Exactly.
with everything, man. All the other nations getting away with everything what they do to us, man.
That's right.
But the role's gonna switch. He gonna punish them in the latter days.
Right.
But for right now, what's going on with us? That's why he punishing us, man. Because we ain't listening, man.
Like you say, he only gave it to us, man. Psalm 147:19, man. When his judgment he gave to us, and the other nations don't even know his judgment, man. Like I told them, wicked man, what's the name of them brothers out there that was out there earlier, man? Jehovah Wickedness.
Yeah.
They out there booty faced like a mother trying to teach the word of God. Y'all don't even know the judgment, man. Y'all don't even know. Y'all out here trying to teach this word. Y'all booty faced ain't got no friend, nothing else. Y'all don't even know Most High judgment, man, because he even given to your people, man. He only gave them to us. Like I said, we're being punished for that. Go back to Isaiah 44, verse 2.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord that made thee.
Nah, we made ourselves.
Thus saith the Lord that made thee.
I don't believe in God. I just believe we just got her, just woof, just poof.
Thus saith the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb.
From the what?
From the womb.
So it was ordained from the womb what your role was when you got on this earth, brothers and sisters. You was ordained to be that woman, to be that helper. You was ordained to be that brother, to be that leader, man, to be that backbone.
Which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen.
And that Jeshurun, it's a poetic name. It's the definition. It's a poetic name, a token of affection for his chosen people, for the upright people, man. That's who that Jeshurun is. So he said, man, fear not. And that's what the Most High didn't give us. Like I brought out earlier, he didn't give us the sign of fear. He didn't give us that fear. He's trying to take that away from us, man. We're supposed to be fearing the Most High God, and that's it. We're not supposed to fear none of these other people, these other nations. But they, you know what I'm saying? You see the white man out here on top, you see the Arab and all these other people doing their thing. And, you'll have fear for them, like our brothers and sisters do. Why are you talking to the Edom so-called white man like that? Because we don't fear him no more, man. We are commanded not to fear them people, man.
Right.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15-58. Just a little role, this scripture, like we said, know who you are, know what your role is, man.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren,
Israel,
be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abiding in the work of the Lord.
That's right.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain.
So we got
the Lord.
Shalom, my bad. So we got to know that we are to be unmovable in his word. That's you know what that means? Getting these scriptures. We can't be moved, tossed and fro. We can't be tossed to and from. We can't be confounded in these scriptures. That's what we have to read and get to understand. He said, be unmovable, steadfast, always abound in the work of the Lord, not sometimes. We got to have this in our hearts, man, in our mind. That's what he wanted to get us back to having these laws in our hearts and in our minds forever, that we won't even have to, you know, think twice about it. Am I doing right? Am I doing? Nah, you already gonna know it. He said, so for Israel, our brother, you know what I'm saying, his chosen, he said, be steadfast, unmovable, always trying to put the work in for the Most High God. Not sometimes, not when it's acceptable to you or when you got fine time, but all the time.
Because a lot of brothers trim their ways in this truth, man.
That's right. That's why we say know your role. Don't trim your ways and try to do just enough. You know, we try to do the bare minimum, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that no more. We can't do what just enough to get by. We can't be that way no more, brothers and sisters. Know your role. Know that we have to put on this work, man. 24/7. You always got to be thinking of the better ways to try to uplift your people, uplift this nation, and try to get us back to our rulership and get the Most High to come back and get us out of this situation.
And I'm gonna jump up to verse 56, man, because a brother had asked me about this scripture the other day, man. So all praise, man. It was the spirit, man. We're gonna touch on this right quick. It says, the sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So when we need to be having our spirit strengthening, guess what? Go back to the law. That's right. You know, the Most High tells us what we need to do to strengthen our spirit. You know, read the first 5 books, really the whole Bible, because it's lost throughout the whole Bible, man. Because that sting from the nuclear weapons, that's gonna be that last death that death is talking about, man. That's gonna be a death that you're not gonna remember, man. You know, that is something heavy right there, man. Real heavy, man. So the strength of sin is what? The keeping of God's laws, man.
That's right.
Go ahead,
man. That's crucial, man. Like you say, you want to get back and it said the strength of the sin is the law. So like I said, man, you got to get back into the law in order to get your strength built back up, in order to be that strong brother, man, in this truth, man. Get back to the law, which we wasn't in. And like a lot of brothers and sisters out there lost right now because they're not trying to keep these laws, or like the church keep telling everybody the laws are done away with, you know what I'm saying? But the strength is in the law. That's what we need to be trying to get into that law. Let's go to Ezekiel 3:17. A common scripture that we pull. I know I like to pull out there, man, because brothers always want to ask you, who do you think you is, man? I'm going to show you who I am according to the Bible. Show you who God made us to be, man.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
So brothers and sisters out here, man, brothers, man. You men of Israel, man, he made you to be a watchman of this world, man. That's who he made us to be. We have to watch over our brothers and sisters, man. We have to try to correct our brothers and sisters when they wrong, man. Before the Most High God get off that throne and judge them in the way he want to judge them, man.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
So we are trying to warn our people, man. That's what our role is as Israel, man. This is a summary role of what he made us to be, man. Like you say, you got to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And this is how you do it, man. By being a watchman of the Most High God. By giving his people warning from him. Letting them know that, hey, man, it's going to be death and destruction coming to our people, man. 2/3 of our people not going to make it or adhere to this law, man, to these words, man. So we're trying to give our brothers and sisters warning from the Most High God. He set us up to be these watchmen. That is our role. That's our role.
Exactly. And like the Most High, like we always say, I love reading the scriptures because a lot of times you read the same scriptures, but we get a chance to expound on it. He says, and hear the word at my mouth. So we're commanded to speak the Most High's word. When we bring in correction to brothers and sisters, guess what? We use the Bible. That's right. We don't want to use thus said my own words. Right. We use what the Bible say. God's words. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, let's go get a precept on it. Give me Isaiah 52:8 right quick. This is what the watchman, when we open our mouth and what we utter, the Bible gonna say exactly that. Read it up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 52 and verse 8. Thy watchman shall lift up the voice.
Because that's what we lift up the voice of the Lord. We ain't lifting up the voice of our own self, man. We don't.
With the voice together shall they sing.
Because that's what we gonna do as a nation, man. We gonna sing God's words as a nation, man. You know,
For they shall see eye to eye.
Because we gonna see eye to eye. Read on.
When the Lord shall bring again Zion.
Because that's what we waiting on, man. The king to come back, man.
That was a heavy scripture because it said, shall they sing the voice together. That's why some things, man, if you're not ready for some of these mysteries that you're trying to bring out, man, put them to the side, man. Let's get together in unity, man. He said, for they will see eye to eye. That's being united together, man. That's unity. That's having the same mindset, man. That's crucial. That's a heavy scripture, man. Go back. I have a crucial.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
That's right.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life.
That's what we out here doing. That's our road. That's a heavy road, brothers in Israel. That is a heavy road. We are trying to save our brothers and sisters' lives, man, out here. And if you don't think that's a burden on your back, man, I don't know what you think it is, man, because that is crucial. That's one of the biggest roles you can play as being on the team of Israel, man. That you are a watchman, that you out here trying to save your brothers and sisters' lives, man, through the scriptures from the Most High God. That is heavy, man. That's big, man. We out here trying to save our brothers and sisters' life, man.
And that's the same thing we was bringing up last week when we were basically going and telling how we was expounding on talking about how we tell our people, hey, man, well, God said you the greatest in the world. It's like, no,
forget you, man.
Man, that ain't nothing, man. That Bible, that's a white man's book, man. And we trying to tell you the greatest, man. The Bible says that, man. We didn't make that up, man.
Right. Or didn't write it. That's right. Come on, that's enough. Did you finish that?
To save his life.
To do what?
To save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand.
So that's why we tell brothers, man, a lot of the time, hey, y'all think that we out here just playing around? No, because reading that scripture right there, they let you know, man, that if you're not out here putting in that work and trying to save these brothers' lives, which he commanded us to do, guess what? That blood gonna be on your hand, man. So now you just done doubled up, man, with sin, man. With another, you done got a double cup of sin you didn't want to have, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you heavy. Now you heavier. And I know I don't need to get no heavy. I'm trying to drop some of these pounds. I'm trying to drop some of these sins off me, man. And that's what we are commanded to do, though, man. But you know, your blessing comes from that, man. Your blessings come from that, man. Let's go to we'll get on a couple scriptures for the women now. I want to do men, women, and children. We can get a couple scriptures for our women that they know they rolled in Israel as well. Let's go to 1 Timothy 2:11. Common scriptures. We all know.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 11. I'll start up at verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
That they adorn themselves in modest apparel. That's what we try to tell our sisters, man. First of all, your role is not to be out here dressed up like just any old sister, man, out here trying to show off your butt, show off your legs, thighs, etc. You know what I'm saying?
Like Cardi B.
Right. Because what that does is that hinders the man. Because but Most High God made us, he know what he made. You know that he made men to be men, and that we like the sisters, man. We like our women. We should like women. Women should like men. So if we like women, well then guess what? A woman out there showing off her butt, her chest, what they're doing, let's put a man in sin even more. So his sisters are to help us by getting us out of sin, you know what I'm saying, about dressing in modest apparel. Also helping themselves because if a man just see you for your body, but he really wants you, he's just lusting.
That's right.
Get you in the bed and leave $1 or $2 on the coffee table and he gone. 6 in the morning. That's all we trying to do, man. You know our brothers and sisters, so that woman should dress in modest apparel, man.
Because little do people know your clothing, guess what? That's spiritual too, man.
That's right.
You know, like we always say, if y'all see us up here in dresses, man, that would put an feminine spirit on brothers. So when we seeing sisters dressed inappropriately, guess what? That puts an whoremongering spirit on them, a whoring spirit on them, a masculine spirit on them, if they in pants and whatnot. So the Most High gives us a way that we should look Now that's very important. You know, you want to always dress the part, look the part. You know, and being an Israelite, like we say, it's a lifestyle, man.
That's right.
You know, from outer side and more importantly, the inner side, man.
And that's going into letting your light shine, man.
That's
right.
it.
That's because when you letting your light shine, guess what? When you see any darkness, that means you ain't seen it. So guess what, man? Every little detail of our life is spiritual, man. It's a spiritual thing, man.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be all up all in men's faces, you know what I'm saying, trying to be looked at, trying to get likes on Facebook and Instagram like they do. Because that's what you turn on Instagram, man, that's all you seeing, man. So let's twerk, this, that, that's all they out here doing. You supposed to be shamefaced, sir. You ain't supposed to be out here showing that, man. You supposed to be out here letting your light shine to the other women. You know what I'm saying? To show them how to be, you know what I'm saying, women, you know what I'm saying, and sisters of the Most High God. And we're going to get to that next. Go ahead.
Not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
With good works. That's what you have to be, professing good works. You got to show your works. That's what I actually say. You got to let your light shine. And that's men and women.
And the thing is, like I'm bringing out, man, these women be on the thing doing all this twerking, and then these homosexual dudes doing all this thing, going twerking stuff, man. Look here, man. That stuff right there is an abomination to the Lord, man.
It really is.
How y'all women, the thing is in this situation, you don't want men to disrespect you. You don't want men to treat you with all kind of respect, but you get on the internet and you put that out there for the world to see.
Right.
Man, that's an abomination, man.
And then these brothers, that these homosexuals, who are their biggest hype men? The women. But you want a strong man. See, it don't add up. You say you want a man to be a protector and a guy, but you up here hyping these homosexual brothers up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Both ways.
It can't be twofold, man. Not in that way. Scripture's twofold. You can't be doing that. Trying to say, oh yeah, well, I want a man, but you hyping these brothers up to be homosexual. You know what I'm saying? We can't have that, man. We got to get back into who you are. And that's why we say sisters have to know their role as well, too. Go ahead, Doc.
Let the woman, the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Because is that a shot? No, that's respect. That's to the Most High God. The woman learn, because a lot of people say, oh, well, a prophetess. Yeah, you can be a prophetess and read the next scripture.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
But that don't mean that you got to be out here all Pastor she Jakes, Sheedy Jakes. Nah, but you can be a prophetess like a sister wearing her nice dress, wearing her modest apparel, head wrap, and a brother walk by. Hey, man, I always see you in that dress, sister, with the things on the bottom. What is with your haircut? What is that? Yeah, you let them know, hey, this is this. You know what I'm saying? This is that. That's a prophetess. But it don't mean that you go out here and try to teach these brothers and sisters, man, like that. You teach them through your actions. But he said, I suffer not a woman to teach, man.
Nor to assert authority over the man.
And that's crucial because, man, that ain't the world turned upside down now, because you would think that these women have all the authority right now. But brother, go to the court, you know who win in that case. The sister getting the child. That brother, no matter if he got the great job or not, you can see him only visits on Friday and Saturday. But the woman, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the woman trying to do. When the so-called white woman put the women in pants. They want to have some authority. Are we tired of being on the back burner? But he said he suffered not to assert authority over a man. That's crucial, man. You cannot try to be over the man. The man is set in stone for who he has to be. You know what I'm saying? And the woman is set in stone for who she has to be. But they both play a role together.
That's right.
They both play that role together. You know what I'm saying? That's like Scottie and Pippen. If Scottie didn't help out Jordan, it's Jordan and Pippen. If Scottie didn't help out Jordan, man, I don't know if Jordan could have got them rings like that by himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's just straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if we the Jordan with it, our Scottie need to be our wives, man. They got to help us get to this kingdom. Help us clean up this world. Help us clean up our families, man, our households, man.
And like we always bring out, we keep reiterating this. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
That's right.
So guess what? The man has to be strong. Guess what? The sister has to be strong in their own order, though. You know, to make a strong family, man. That's what this Bible is all about, making strong families again, man. Then too, both of y'all are strong, and then guess what? Y'all raising up y'all children strong, man. then y'all being strong in the power of the Lord and in His might, man. That's a beautiful thing that the Most High want us to get back to. Go ahead,
read verse 12.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
So we out there. We got these the wicked sisters out there, man. We be out there teaching every day. The sisters, they be out there trying to teach. They Jehovah wickedness. They think they just doing something, man. You're not supposed to be out there teaching, sisters. You're supposed to be sitting back, chilling, doing what you're supposed to do, which is being in modest prayer with shame faith, letting the men get out there and put their work in, because whether y'all know it or not, man, we put our life on the line every time we out there. And that's supposed to be the man putting his life on the line out there teaching. Because you already know they hate us for Christ, man. They hated Christ. They hated his people for following him. They hated Christ, man. He wasn't doing them to try to give us the laws, man, to tell us that he chose us, man.
Because guess what? When we putting our life on the line first, guess what? And if our life be taken, then who gonna teach the children?
Who next?
Y'all women gonna have to step up, man. Because guess what? Y'all don't have to raise the next generation of men to be able to step up to put their life on the line for the women and children again.
That's right. And I can't say what's going on right now? These brothers out here, they losing their lives for their own thoughts, for their veins, for their own vanities. They out here in these streets trying to get some dollars, trying to get some money. Oh, I had to raise my children. That's a different situation. We talking about these stern men up here trying to put this work in. You know what I'm saying? They might lose their life in the struggle, and it's true, man. You know what I'm saying? Not that. And then sisters, it's already happening, but we need the men to be real men, man. And not real niggas, man. Not real brothers. Ain't none of that no more, man. So we're not trying to say that that's the way to go. No, we trying to show you that, hey, men, we are here putting our life on the line. Like we say, we're the first line of defense. Right. And if we go within the woman, the next line is the woman, man. Y'all gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? That's why you say that the women go out there, you got a role too. They just the men and women have a crucial role, and it's very crucial that that woman play her role as well, man. Go ahead.
Nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Man. Women, know your role, man. Let's go to 1 Peter 3.
Let me jump down to chapter 3, verse 11.
Bring it out.
Going into the deacons' wives and so forth, really just leaders of the congregation. It says, even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers. Not talking about other sisters, not talking about the tea and all that, but it's okay to talk amongst your sisters when it's in a positive light, building sisters up, building brothers up, building the children up. It says not slanderers, sober, not drinking too much wine. It's okay to drink wine, but like we say, if not to drink to get drunk, sober, faithful in all things. So that's key right there, man. You have to be faithful in all things, just like your husband. You want to match up. Y'all want to be on that level, seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
That's a good scripture, for real, man. We gotta be eye to eye, like we said. Let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 1. Because we show you how crucial that the woman's role is, you know what I'm saying? That, oh no, we're not putting the women down. The Most High God is not putting you down, because it ain't us putting that y'all think it's the Most High God, because we following after scripture. And if the scripture said let that woman learn the silence and be that helper, well, then that's what he made you to be for. He's for his good. He made this thing, man. We got to understand that. We just got to follow what he made.
What you want,
1 Peter 3 and 1.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subject to your own husband.
Be in subjection to your own husband.
In subjection, to your own husbands. Yeah. That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Now, that's crucial for the woman. You understand what that scripture is saying? That sometimes these men might get out of line, that they may fall. So guess who? If we have a helper, who gonna be our helper then when we fall? The conversation might be won by the woman. I mean, look, I think you went off a little bit on that. You got to come back to it. And by you letting your light shine, by you being in subjection, by you just sitting back, piecing it up, you know what I'm saying? That's very heavy. That's the role that you play. Because sometimes the women got to get us back in order too. You know what I'm saying? That if we fall, who is our helper? The woman got to be able to help you and hold you up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes too, even though we are the men and we the stern brother, but still, we always gonna need some help, man. That's why the Most High God said he made us for a helper. And that woman, it said that without the word be warned by the conversation of the wives. That means if that brother slip and fall, that wife is that woman who go come and, hey man, you slipping. You don't have banana peel. Get up off that thing. Let's go back through these scriptures, because guess what? I'm learning these scriptures. I'm in silence. I'm in the back. I'm playing my role, but look, I'm gonna show you that you out of line, brother.
Because that's how the Most High give the woman their strength is through their silence.
That's right.
Okay. Let me read this real quick, because I love this scripture. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. I'm gonna read it right quick. Because like I said, man, the wives, man, they is very important in the nation of Israel, man. We cannot say that so much, man. But when it's according to the scriptures, right. The book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So we know we catching hell, we know the sisters is catching hell, but guess what? That wife is supposed to be a helpmeet to that husband. Right. And she also supposed to be a pillar of rest for that brother, for her husband, man. That is crucial in these times, because we've been put on the bottom so far, you know, like we say, even the sisters have been put above us. So when husbands come home, man, that is a pillar of rest. You know, that's what it's supposed to be according to the scriptures. And we need sisters to take heed to those scriptures. Right. You know, it says, where no hedge is, there the possession is all. And he that had no wife will wander up and down mourning. So that lets you know, a lot of times, man, brothers need wives, right, man.
You need a helper, man.
You need a helper, man.
Right.
Y'all, like we say, man, we have to continue to stress you, man. Y'all have a very important role in the nation of Israel, man. You know, y'all the one that mass produce us as a nation, man. We plant the seed in y'all, and y'all bring forth the children. All praise to the Most High, man. You know, so that y'all role is very crucial, man. Go ahead.
That's crucial, man. That's heavy scripture, because like we bringing out, man, the woman plays a great role, man. This is being a helper for us, man. Because like we say, when we fall, who gonna be there to help us out, man? When we fall, man, because we need a helper as well. You know, we could be all like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm the strong man, I'm this, I'm the provider. Yeah, well, you the provider, but still, man, you need help sometimes as well.
Yeah, we do. And see, and I'm gonna tell you, y'all role in y'all women role in Israel. Sometimes y'all understand y'all silence. It helps brothers out more than what y'all think. It helps out. You take a brother that be sick. You kind of brother. Say when a brother get say when one of the brothers get the flu, and his wife in there trying to nourish him up. That brother turns into a baby.
That's right.
And now his wife becomes at this point, she becomes more of the role of taking the leadership of the household, because he's down now. So the thing is they have to wait in their positions, man, and wait for your turn. When your turn comes, guess what? The Lord gonna make sure you step up when it's time for you to step up. But just play your role until your time comes.
Know your role, play your role, because guess what? You go always get when you think it ain't time for you to get in the game. Substitution, wife. But
if you over there talking, running your mouth,
you won't even hear the home.
And the coach call you, hey, come on.
Now you heard that. Yeah. That's all right. Sit back there. Don't worry about it. Oh, you sit back there. You go in the game with your full jumpsuit on. You ain't even ready for it. For real, man. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Another scripture saying basically the same thing, man. Saying the same thing, that the woman, man, has a great role to play, to know her role, man.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 2. And walk in love, as Christ also had loved us. Salah. The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
That's right, man. Women, you have to submit yourself to your husband, man. Be in submission. You know what I'm saying? We don't, like we say, all these old loud, you know, because women, man, they can get that loud mouth. They can start working that neck, rolling them eyes, and putting that mouth on you, man. You just like, man, Lord, man, I can't take this, man. You know what I'm saying? So, say, woman, you got to be a submission, man, to your husband, man. Can't be all that loud mouth like we used to do. You know our sisters, man. You know our sisters got that mouth on them. A lot of, and most of our sisters, man. You know, you got some of them sisters that's quiet for the most part. Them sisters, man, they can get at you, man, with that tongue, man, for real. Hey, man, please. We know this.
Salaki. The book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands. This is a key point I want us to kind of focus in. As unto the Lord. You know, the same way in that sense. That's the respect that you should have for your husband.
That's right.
And guess what? The husbands, it's not in unrighteousness. That's what we tell brothers. She is not your slave. She is not something that you can just walk all over. You treat your wife as you would treat yourself.
That's right.
We have to know the order.
Jump over verse 21. That explains it a little bit.
Yeah, I was listening to you right now.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 21. Submitting yourselves one another in the fear of God.
And see, that's the key. In the fear of God. So guess what? A man is not going to be a lion in his house. Guess what? And a woman don't need to be a lion that's ruined in her house neither. Guess what? Know our roles. Stay in your position, man. Look here. If we going to do this in the fear of the Lord, guess what? Everything's going to be done in righteousness, man. That man going to lead his house in righteousness. That woman going to follow his lead in righteousness.
That's right. Like I said, submit yourself. So husband, you got to submit too, to understand that, hey, not submitting to your wife, but submit to understand that you play a role that you have to play, but you have to play it to the ability that God gave to you to play. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring a scripture out for next too, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just be like brothers say, you can't be roaring lion in there, man, all day, every day, man. And the sisters just sitting over there just taking out. You gotta be leading by example, man. Go ahead,
the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife. Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
So, you know, that's 1 Corinthians 11:3, the order of the Most High God, how he set it up. For the husband is the head of the wife, man. Man, it don't mean that you just rule over, I'm a beater, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I want to do too. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You gotta be the head in righteousness, man, in order, man.
That's right.
Go ahead,
Verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
In every way, shape, form, fashion that you can help your husband, sister, help them out, man. If it's trying to, like I say, that brother sick, guess what? You up now. Cause you know, we stir him in, but hey man, we can sure be like some little babies sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, please give me this. I know I got that too, man. Pounding this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't wait, I can't go. So, you know, sister, be in everything. Like we said, it's gonna be that time that you have to get out that bench and put that work in too. So, you know what I'm saying? But so it say in everything. That's crucial. In everything.
Cause you know they say, oh, y'all lying out there on the streets, but let that Negro get sick. You know what I'm saying? He up in there whining like a baby, boy, like a little cub.
Could you put the cover on me?
Come on, Simple. Come on, Simple. Show like Simple, man. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
And this is crucial. Husbands, remember this scripture.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
So sisters, don't think and forget. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, don't forget as well that you have to love your wife, man. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that God loved the church, man. You can't just be no roaring lion, man. Just trying to be, you read scripture, the Lord say, I'm over you. I'm the head, not now. And be like that. You got to lead in truth and honesty, man. Let's go to 1 Timothy 5, man. You got something?
And that's also important. I'm glad I brought it up because guess what? It is our job to give our wives understanding of the scriptures. We got to understand they may not be on the same level as us. Some sisters may be because some sisters study the word diligently.
They do.
But it's also our job to teach and go through the scriptures along with our wives. So we don't leave them off. Because sometimes we can leave sisters off. When you come into the truth, you're trying to get all the scriptures. She just over there like, don't have a full understanding of certain things. So we also want to make sure, we know we got a big, heavy job to do in this truth, but you can't forget about your family, man.
That's right.
You got to be teaching them and training them up as you get built up yourself too.
That's right.
That's why we say there's a lot of work to be done, man. Go ahead,
and brothers, you only that head if you doing what the Most High God wants you to do, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we tell sisters, now you ain't just supposed to subject to that brother out there just out there running the streets now. First of all, you don't need to be with that brother, man. You know what I'm saying? But the men, man, you have a big role to play, man. You got to be in order with the Most High God, man. And let's go to 1 Timothy 5, mate, because this clarified a lot. It's clarified a lot because brothers, man, they just, I'm the man. You ain't acting like it. Like I tell you, acting like Simba right now. You ain't acting like the man. You ain't acting like the lion. You acting like the cub, man. You know what I'm saying? This is one way that you can be a cub, man. This one, 5:8, First Timothy 5.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Brothers, you ain't out there trying to work. You are nothing, man. You out here trying to sell these drugs, whatever. You a murderer, man. And you are not a worker. And he said, deny the faith, man, the faith of the Most High God, putting in work for him, because that work, it don't matter if you out here making $9 an hour. And that's to your sister. Yeah, that you might make more than that, brother, because the way the world done changed right now, the women, they keep their jobs more than us. They don't want to be on a job 35, 40 years. And the man have been got fired for one little, he missed for having the flu. But if that brother out there trying to put in that work for that $9 an hour job, he making 9, 10, even if he making 20, whatever he making, if he out there trying to provide for that family, like the scripture said, provide for his own, especially for those in his own house. If he out there trying to provide, he going to work every day diligently. Like you say, he ain't making number $8 or $9, but he out there working hard, and you see it in him. You know what I'm saying? That's how you be that head of that house, man.
Exactly. And it also goes like they always bring up great points, man, that we can expound on. If you not making a lot of money, guess what? Keep that job and look for you and pray for a better job, man. The Most High will give us these things according to what we need, man. You know, it goes for the sisters too. You know, if you need more money, pray to the Most High, man. Keep that job and be looking for another one, though. You know, we got to be smart in this society. Go ahead,
And that's the last part that said he is like infidel, man. He like nothing. So you ain't nothing if you ain't trying to work, brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? And you the head of the house and you ain't trying to put in no work. Infidel, man. Let's go to Titus chapter 2, verse 1.
The book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
Speak the things of the Most High God, the scriptures, that's sound doctrine, man. That's for brothers and sisters, man. Don't be out here trying to the earth around the rising belt, the solar system, this and all that, man. Speak sound doctrine, man.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience.
That's the men that you have to be sober, man. That's a role that we play. Be temperate, sound in faith, charity, and patience. Having great compassion for your brothers and sisters, man. Charity, man. Giving them this truth, man. I'm talking about giving it to them with the utmost, with the hardest, with diligently, man. Charity.
Verse 3. The aged woman likewise.
The aged woman likewise. So forth like the woman as well.
That they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
That they be carry yourselves the way you're supposed to. Not all that old extra talking about sisters, you know what I'm saying? All that doing up. Oh, well, we gonna call her sister so-and-so on the phone. We're gonna tell her about this and that. Being said, likewise, that they be in behavior of the Most High God, what he want us to be.
Not false accusers, not giving too much wine.
Yeah.
Teachers of good things.
Man, you got to teach the family, man, the good thing. Like you said, you are the look at for our family, you know what I'm saying, for the children, man. You know what I'm saying? The children, and that's another scripture next that we train up the child. But the women, they supposed to be teaching good things as well, man, teaching how to run a household. You know what I'm saying? Showing little sisters how to be great wives, man, to the husband, man. How to be in submission.
And like I said, would you go ahead?
I was basically just going into when he first started out. He said in verse 1, he said, "But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine." And then it started laying out. It laid out the man. It laid out the woman. It's the only thing this basically going into is being a spiritual example.
That's right.
Of how you supposed to walk your walk in this truth, man.
That's
all what it's going into, a spiritual example.
That's your role. That's right.
Go ahead.
And like I said, these are the things that sisters should be teaching. Verse 4 explains that they may teach the young women to be sober.
That's right.
To love their husbands, to love their children.
That's what the woman's supposed to be a teacher of the household. You know what I'm saying? To show their children how to be, show the young women how to be wise when they grow up. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't teach them, like the scripture, train up a child the way they should go. If you don't teach them when they're young, then how will they have it set instilled in their mind? Oh, man, mama always cooked. Mama always did this. Mama always made sure daddy was straight. Mama did this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to be.
To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home,
keepers at home,
good, obedient to their own husbands,
obedient to their own husband, not old Tom, Dick, and Harry,
mm-hmm.
but to your own husband.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
Mm-hmm. For real, that's true, man.
Verse 6, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded.
So we don't need we all drunken all the time, man. You know, we can drink and stuff, but you got to be sober, man. Not just with drinking, man, but this wrong doctrine, this all these books and different books, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, man. Be sober-minded, man. All this K2 and 2K, whatever you want to call this mess, man. You know what I'm saying? And weed and all this situation, be sober-minded, man. Because the Most High can't dwell in, you know what I'm saying?
Verse 7, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works.
And see, once you keep doing this, then it shows a pattern of goodness. Because if you're not showing them, like I just said, if you're not showing the sisters at a young age or showing the young brothers how to be mean at a young age, but then when they get old, they won't know it already. That's why we said a lot of our brothers and sisters was raised with women as being their fathers and mothers. Therefore, when we out there speaking to them boldly, they can't take it. You can't talk to me like you didn't have a father in your house, so we know. Then we know. But it said, and all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. So you have to keep doing this repetition. Like we tell brothers and sisters, we rehearsing this righteous act. Because sooner or later, we're going to be able to get all the high holy days off if we keep putting this work for the Most High God. Exactly. He'll give it to us. If you keep showing a pattern here, we'll have every Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we won't have to worry about working on Sabbath or had to call in this day or that day. Now it's going to already be out to you. So you have to have a pattern of good works.
And that pattern of good works, like I was saying, guess what? Because sooner or later, it's going to be lights, camera, action.
Mm-hmm.
Rehearsal is going to be over with. Then it comes the real play for you to bring forth what you done learned or what you done rehearsed. You know, the spotlight is going to be on you then. So you know what you're going to do. Read on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 8. Go ahead.
I could bro.
Hey, brother back up here, man. For real, brother back up here, man. Hope you watching that.
Verse 8, sound speech that cannot be condemned.
Because we can't be condemned through the scripture, man. Sound speech. That's why we say if you got some stuff that you're trying to bring out and you know that if you don't have the whole full 100% of the truth, man, of it, let it alone. Because like you used to tell me, man, you'll run up on a Christian night, man, that hey, that'll confound you, man, because they read it now. They just ain't getting the truth on this, but they read it now.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get confounded trying to bring out this any and everything, man. So it said, sound speech that cannot be condemned, man. We know that we can't be condemned out we the children of Israel, that we going through these curses, that we got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's sound, man, for sure.
Verse 8, I'm going to read it again. Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary report may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say against
because you. Brothers, man, they'll hear one thing you say, oh, he said this, and they'll try to linger on that the whole rest of the time. Your argument was this, that everybody can make, and then you done change and say, well, oh, you said to your neighbor, your brother, and they go cling on. They trying to look for one thing to try to confound you. And then that's their whole argument now. Forget my other argument. I just heard one thing that I'm going to try to confound you on. And that's what they try to do, man. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to have that sound doctrine. You know, understand that. That's what the scriptures say.
And that's the thing, even with the sisters, you know, having the sound speech, showing yourself a pattern of good works, because you know how sisters can be sometime out there evil, man. You know, they always trying to catch sisters up and doing something, just like, what was it, Sister Judith or Sister Esther? No one could say no evil thing about her, because guess what? She was doing according to what the Bible was telling her. You know, and that's the same way that our sisters have to put on too, man. You know, like we say, I always read the four mothers, you know, Esther, Judith, you know, seeing how they carried their walk, you know, and you want to mimic that or mirror that. Go ahead, Austin.
Let's go to verse 9.
Verse 9. Exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters.
Know your role. You have to be obedient to the maker, man, to our master, man, knowing that we are not greater than him. But we have to be obedient to him.
Now, and I want to touch on that point. Now, they use that scripture in slavery,
man, don't they?
To keep us oppressed, man. And guess what? They use that to the point that right now, still to this day, got our people in that Stockholm syndrome. They had our people locked in the Stockholm syndrome because of that verse. This is one of the verses that they use to keep us in bondage, man.
That's right.
And when they took the yoke off our necks, we was obedient because his verse was in the Bible.
That's right.
And stitched in our head incorrectly.
That's right. Incorrectly. That's a crucial word on it. See that master. Like we say, to and exhort servants to be obedient to their own master, man. That's not talking about so-called white man. It's talking about to your maker, man, to the Most High God, man. You have to be obedient to him. You can't be the clay and try to be the potter too. You know what I'm saying? The potter made you for what he is. Finish it off, man.
Exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters and to please them well in all things, not answering again.
So ain't no back talking, man. Ain't no this and that. Ain't no asking the Most High God, well, why you do? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Be who you supposed to be, man. If he set you to be that watchman, be that. He set you to be that woman, that helper, be that, man. Let's go to the children right quick before we get out of here. Let's go to Colossians 3:20. And you see some of the men roles, some of the women's roles, and you want to get to the children too. Because we all play a part in this thing, man.
The book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse
3 and 20.
The book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 20. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord.
So you young oxen, man, and some brothers and sisters, young oxen, man, y'all gotta obey your parents because this is well pleasing to the Lord. And he said, not in some things, in all things. Shouldn't be no man. I had to go take the trash out yesterday and today. You might have to take it out tomorrow too. In all things, man, to be obedient to your parents, man, because this is well pleasing to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that y'all got to be in order too, man. Order with your parents, order with your mother and your father, and then with Christ too. You know that it's a role that he set forth. You know what I'm saying? It's a standard that he put out there. So y'all have to be obedient to your parents. You know what I'm saying? Because this pleases the Lord. That's the crucial part of that scripture because being obedient to your parents pleases the Lord.
And that phrase in there again, in all things.
In all things. In all things. Let's go to Ephesians 6 and 1. About 2-3 more scriptures.
The book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
For what's right?
For this is right.
Just another scripture that you children know, man. Obey your parents, man. This is right. Don't be, some of these parents, you know what I'm saying? You'll see some of these children, these kids out here, man. These children, see some of these children out here, man, and they like, man, they talk back to their mama, their dad in the mud, man. That might give you the thing that you get the audacity. You get home and your Israelite mama and sister slap in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So you already know that just because them other ones doing that, you want to be pleasing to them, well pleased to the Most High God, and that's by obeying your parents. Well, let's go to 1 John 5:1.
Let me read verse 2. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
Man, I didn't see that. It's a lot. Read that again.
Verse 2. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
This is the first commandment with promise. So you know you have to honor your parents, man. Respect your mama. Your mama tell you to do something and you do it, man. Your daddy tell you to do something, children, you have to do it, man. And that's simple as that. This is the first commandment and promise.
Verse 3, that it may be well with thee and that thou mayest live long on the earth.
Because this is what prolonged days. And I had 1 through 3. It's a lot. And because this is what prolonged days, children. You want to get up to be that father. You want to, oh man, I want to be like my dad when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Little sister, I want to be like my mom when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Well, in order to get there, you got to obey your parents first to prolong them days, man. And the Most High God will show you and give you longevity, man, for you to be, you know what I'm saying? And then guess what? You'll start having children. And then guess what? You'll be in that role now. And they'll be having to listen to you. That's how I go. It go from, you know what I'm saying? It's just a trickle down effect. Now, you remember when your dad made you take the trash out. I don't care if I make you take it out 35 times. My dad made me take it out 100 times. You finna take it out just like I did. Because they go obey you and respect you.
Because it builds character.
That's right.
We know children do need chores, man, so that they don't be idle either. Because they have a lot of things that can take them away too. You got social media, got the games, all these different things that pop up, man, that puts things in our children's minds. So guess what? We got to keep them with chores and keep them with the understanding of the scriptures too.
Let me get a precept on it. Sirach chapter 3. And children, And the children and the parents that's watching this, make sure your children read this Sirach chapter 3. This goes into the children role and what they need to do, man.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 1.
It started verse 2.
Verse 2. For the Lord had given the father honor over the children.
Because guess what, man? It didn't say fathers and mothers under thy children. It said children under thy mothers and thy fathers and thy mothers. Mm-hmm. Don't get the roles. Don't get it twisted, man. Because the Lord had a specific way.
That's right.
We don't know.
And had confirmed the authority of the mother over the son.
Because guess what? The mother has the authority over the children all the way. No back talking, no running your mouth.
That's right.
She has the full authority over you. And if you're doing it, you out of line, man.
That's right.
We don't know.
Verse 3. Whosoever honored his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
That's what the Bible says. Whoso honored his father maketh atonement for his sins. We don't know.
And he that honored his mother is as one that layeth up treasure.
Because guess what? When you get in time of trouble, guess what? By you honoring your mother and your father, guess what? You made atonement for your sin. And now when you get in time of trouble and you honor your mother, guess what? The treasure that you laid up, you can use some of this treasures to pay for some of the stuff that you done.
Come.
Read one more up.
Verse 5. Whoso honored his father shall have joy of his own children.
Mm-hmm.
And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
He shall be heard. That's how you get your prayers heard, man.
That's right. Your mother.
Hold up. Verse 5 is heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all don't want to be bad, because if y'all grow up and have children, your children gonna be bad, man.
That's right.
That is. So that is, man.
You
know, you want to honor that. It's a good precept.
That bed you make it. When you make that bed, you go lie in.
Yeah, for real.
Simple as that.
Go ahead.
It's a good precept, man. Let's go to 1 John 5:1, because Ox said it, man. He say, because children, man, they really could, it's hard for them because they have a lot of idols, man. You know what I'm saying? Idols as young people, you know what I'm saying?
You got social media, you got PlayStation, you got tablets, phones, man. Esau trying to get our children by any means, man. So us as parents, we have to monitor these things constantly, man. Like the scripture say, it tells us, give them no leisure, man. Especially in this society, man, because that little bit of leisure can take them away, man. So we have to keep them grounded in the laws. What you want to
go to Deuteronomy 4:40. We're ending on this.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4.
40.
Chapter 4 and verse 40. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever.
So it said, thou shalt keep these statutes, commandments, and judgments of the Most High God this day, that it may go well with thee and the children after thee, and that they may prolong thy days, man. Like we just said, man, this is how you prolong your days. And this is to the men, women, and children. Keep the commandments, man. Stay in order. Know your role. And if you do this, by doing this, you will prolong your days on this earth, man. And that's how you stay in order with the Most High God. To prolong your days on earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever, man. Forever. And I hope y'all got some understanding of this class today. Know your role, man. With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Go ahead.
Those is on Facebook.
Yeah, subscribe to us. If you haven't subscribed, man, go to YouTube, subscribe to the Battle Axe of the Most High God. If you're on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, click, tune in to us, man. However you can, man. Try to get, you know what I'm saying, we're trying to get this word out to the four corners of the earth, man. Like we say, we thank the brothers and sisters that y'all have donated to the cause for the GoFundMe. That money will be used and is being used, you know what I'm saying. And I hope, as y'all see, according to the Most High God, to help us try to build this nation of people. So, you know what I'm saying, we do have a GoFundMe page. And like we said, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, man, Facebook, tune in, man, all that, man. Our numbers on the flyers, man. If you look on YouTube, or you can give brothers and sisters calls, man, give the brothers calls. Yeah, a lot. We will a lot. I ain't getting a lot.
It's 20 and 12.
Yeah, that was a lot. It was. But like we say, you know what I'm saying, tune in. We got our numbers on there, man. If you want to give, if you got questions, if you got any concerns on the class or any other class that you've seen, you know what I'm saying, call and we can, you know what I'm saying, dialogue together, and we can do this thing together as a nation of people, man. We'll give y'all a law before we go.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon this land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So that is, like I said, that's one of the big 10, man. Go ahead, officer.
That's what we said. Like we said, that the last few scriptures they hit on that with the children, man. And for everybody, man, prolong your days, stay in order, know your role, Israel. Know your role. With that, we say shalom. Shalom.